Parents have already spent lakhs and lakhs of rupees for a child to travel there, and after that they don't know what's next.
My son or daughter is stepping out of the country for the first time. Do you think that we should go along with the student or with my son and daughter and help them?
Once they leave their parents, they are more independent now. Okay, but then that phase is not easy. They go through anxiety, depression, loneliness. Family members are not around.
Students भेजना challenge नहीं है, but bigger challenge is for the students when they reach abroad.
What was that thought which came into your mind कि नहीं अब सही समय है मुझे ये launch करने के लिए?
Every year, millions of students leave their homes to study abroad. They secure admission, they get their visas, and then they're left on their own. The global study abroad industry talks a lot about getting students in, but almost no one talks about helping them survive once they land. Welcome to Achesoch, a podcast where we question broken system and spotlight ideas that challenge the status quo. Today, we are discussing the untapped problems in global education where students are treated like transactions, not humans, and where the real pain, housing, jobs, safety, support begins after landing abroad. Joining me is Raghav Somani, co-founder and CEO of Edu Expert Private Limited, who saw the white space that most study abroad companies chose to ignore and build a model around post-landing support, not promises. This conversation isn't just about education, it's about accountability, survival, and fixing a broken value chain. This is Achesoch. Let's begin. Make them up in my head again.
Namaskar Raghav ji and welcome to Achesoch, one idea that changed your life. So before we even start, I really want to understand, this platform name is Achesoch, one idea that changed your life. So how did your journey in your business niche begin?
Thank you so much for having me here today. It's indeed my pleasure. Just to give you a bit of introduction about myself, I have been a student myself, did my master's from Durham University back then, and then was supporting one of the UK universities for student enrollment. All this while, I was, in a situation where I worked with lot of students across, and the challenge what I found was students sort of struggle after reaching the foreign land and not, while departing. That's why we came up with a very unique and niche concept of offering 360-degree post-landing support for students going abroad, to the UK, Germany, Singapore, and Mauritius. Initially, we just began with the UK. And then we saw that there's a lot of potential and a lot of, I would say, inquiries for the countries. And then we sort of set our foot in Germany, Singapore, and Mauritius simultaneously. We are also on the verge of expanding to other few European countries and then Australia and New Zealand.
I'm sure that, any business journey, जो भी business journey होती है, वो immediate तो नहीं शुरू होती. It might have been a process, right? You might have thought a lot of time कि किस तरीके से करूँ, कैसे करूँ, how can I even launch this entire project, right? So what was that thought which came into your mind कि नहीं अब सही समय है मुझे ये launch करने के लिए?
See, honestly, I have been in this domain for a good number of years now, and I have always thought, students भेजना challenge नहीं है. Students तो जाते हैं, चले जाएंगे. There are a lot of agent partners and consultants who do the facilitation, the enrollments at the university. But bigger challenge is for the students when they reach abroad, and especially the country that we come from, where students sort of need, to handhold them, be their mentor, be their torchlight in the foreign country. And I saw that as an opportunity where, we could sort of act as a mentor or maybe act as a bridge and smoothen the transition, because everything is so new to the students. Majority of the students, I would say, step out of the country and go to the foreign land for the first time, right? So everything is so new to them. The building, the atmosphere, the culture, the country, education pattern, everything is so new. So I felt there is a need and to handhold them, and also students need that support in terms of help them settle smooth, so the academic journey further that they're getting into is sort of smoother and comfortable for them. And this is how I came up with the idea of offering post landing services, so to act as a bridge and also settle them comfortably.
Well, that's a wonderful thought, right? Helping students once they land, because that's where the real problem arises, right? Or सबसे बड़ा pain point है, right? Because they don't have any kind of roadmap. Parents have already spent lakhs and lakhs of rupees for a child to travel there, and after that they don't know what's next, right? So this is where the niche that you've picked up is so important, and it's so helpful. I'm sure that parents would be much more happier to take this kind of support and services.
Oh, yes. Also, when you ask about a concept, so I have counseled a lot of students in my professional journey. So majority of the times when the student has been accompanied with his or her parents, they've also always asked a question saying on that my son or daughter is stepping out of the country for the first time. Do you think that we should go along with the student or with my son and daughter and help them or him or her settle well comfortably? And I always said no. Why do you have to really tell? Unless you would want to go on a vacation and do that stuff, that's okay. But just for the heck of settlement, or maybe helping your son or daughter to settle, because even if parents go along, right, hypothetically, they're just going to be there for maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a week, or maximum a month, right? They're going to return. But what happens after that? Student is alone all by himself or herself.
They are.
So exactly. So I've always been telling, you don't have to travel. Student or your son, your daughter will land, and, we will sort of act as a mentor. We'll handhold, and, so the student is not, sort of hustled in any of the new activities or he or she's getting into.
So, as you said that, after landing, you give them the kind of consultation or services. So, what is the kind of process that you follow?
So we work with students once, they've lodged their visa or are almost on the verge of, departing. That's how we come into the picture. So our services actually come into play when the student has actually received the visa or in the process of getting the visa. They enroll for our services, we onboard them, and then we sort of act as a facilitator. So we offer 360-degree post-landing support to students, right? When I say 360-degree, we actually mean that. We begin with, pick up and drop, same city. The services that we are offering is quite niche. So we offer 360-degree post-landing services to students when they go abroad. So our services come into play once they have, received the visa or in the verge of or in the process of getting the visa. They sort of enroll for our services, and then we onboard them, and then we facilitate. The services that we're talking about, it's a couple of services that we offer, and out of which 2 of the services are sort of facilitated prior to their departure, and then 3 is on landing after reaching. Beginning with pick up and drop. So we arrange the pick up and drop from the same city, whichever airport it is, in the UK. We will pick them up and we will drop them off their, desired location, be it off campus or on campus, wherever. So I have seen that students, flights, usually international flights, land at, different times depending upon the airport and the city they're landing. But sometime it could be late, sometime it could be early morning. And usually when you're landing in particular, in the foreign country, there is surge in pricing, right? So students end up paying hefty amount just for the one-way travel from wherever they would want to go to. So we do this, we offer this service at a very reasonable price, as a package.
Wow.
Second is grocery kit. So we've had, we have an exhaustive list of grocery items that we sort of deliver the kit box, grocery kit box prior to the arrival of the student, right? So after landing or after reaching the university, student doesn't have to think that what I'm going to eat, what I'm going to cook, because I don't know the place, I don't know the surrounding. Neither do I know any Indian shop that would, have the Indian grocery items. So we sort of deliver the box, be it off campus, on campus, wherever, prior to their arrival, so that they don't really have to go grocery shopping, right? The kit box will be ready at their doorstep before they arrive.
That's amazing.
SIM card support is usually delivered along with a grocery kit box. These are the services which are offered on the foreign land, right? Just before they arrive. And two of the services, which is career and profile building sessions and solicitors briefing. So career and profile building sessions, we have our mentors and career coaches from that specific country, and we sort of make them career ready. So when I talk about, these are sort of very, I would say, important sessions that are delivered online and through the respective coaches and mentors. So lot of insights and lot of, training is given to these students, and we sort of make them career ready, which will not only help them in terms of career progression, but in lot of other aspects, right? We also support the students in terms of, finding part-time jobs, internships, and full-time jobs once they are there and they have the relevant document, in the right format. Solicitor's briefing, it's a UK word. Solicitor, it's nothing but, UK immigration lawyer who is in that particular country. And we sort of have, again, the session with these students with that solicitor, where we put it out very loud and clear, the rules and regulations, the roles and responsibilities of, the students towards their sponsorship, the visa they're going on. The do's and don'ts, driving offenses.
It's kind of having the entire checklist ready before even the child is.
We would want students to not, make any mistake or, be fined for not to fall any kind of prey or scam. So we are sort of, taking those precautions, and we cover, all these aspects in these sessions, right? So we also help the student in terms of letting him or her know the process of opening up a bank account, right? After reaching. Yeah, so a lot of support and service, and once the student is on the verge of completion of his or her study and would want to apply for the, postgraduate visa or the stay back or the graduate immigration route for the UK, we also give them a supporting hand, because there are certain norms, rules, and regulations where students are supposed to follow, right? So the things are sort of, put out in the right manner beforehand, before they reach, so the expectations are set and students are not making any mistakes. So we would want students to, flourish and, also, fulfill their dreams at the right university. Obviously, they've selected the best university for them, and also, fly out with flying colors.
But Raghavji, I also feel that you're not making students career ready, you're also making parents ready, right? Wherein, they feel that once my child is landed to a particular destination,
Yeah.
he or she is in safe hand.
Certainly, I have a daughter, and she's young though, but if I have to send her abroad, and if I know someone where and either of our parents or either of the parent of the student has not traveled abroad and would want to send their kids, right? It's a big question mark.
It's a very big question.
We come from a country where, sort of a little conservative on certain things, that पहली बार जा रहा है मेरा बेटा या बेटी, कौन है वहाँ पे, कैसा होगा, is it safe, timings odd है, कैसे would my son or daughter would be able to cope up. So अगर ये services अगर कोई offer करता है, and if I have to send my daughter, I would definitely opt for it. It's a big sigh of relief for parents and also for the student, right, on the foreign land. Yeah.
It is. But then before the process, after landing there and having all kind of facilities and all, the first level is getting the right consultant.
Right.
So you being into this space, do you kind of guide students or a parent who want to have a right kind of knowledge on how to start basically.
Right. No, so when we formed the company, our, the thought process was very clear that we will not do university enrollments because my partners are already doing it, right? They are offering the best services and also the support in terms of, university selection, the process, enrollment visa. So we specialize in post-landing, and I would want to stick to that instead of, offering the services on the foreign land to these students where they feel that they're not lost, career ready, and also in safe hands. Yeah.
So but then looking at Indian market, right? Parents के mind में ये रहता है like I've already spent lakhs of rupees in getting the enrollment in say university. So after lending भी service है which you can opt for, the kind of investment that it will take. So have you ever been through that kind of clients जिनके दिमाग में रहता है यार यहाँ पे तो पैसे डाल दिए अभी यहाँ पे भी डालना है?
I have come across, couple of times where parents or students have asked, now we've already paid, good amount, hefty amount to the university, and we are going abroad. So additionally, is it worth? I always say it's an investment, right? See, I'll tell you very clearly, the services that we are offering is students can cherry pick individually. If not, they can, buy these services in a bundle way, which is very economical. And I can very confidently say the services that we are offering as a package is very economical. If student happens to just land maybe at midnight or early morning, and he or she has to go maybe take a direct cab from A to B location, he or she is going to spend a big amount, right? But as a service, as an offering, I'm sure it is very economical. Second part, we are making them career ready. That's the most important and crucial aspect. At this point of time, I'm sure, we are on social media and we see a lot of reels and videos, of students circulating in a wrong manner. I would say that, don't go to this particular country. There are no part-time jobs. There are no full-time jobs. But my question to you and to them is, are they career ready? I would say certainly not. There's a big gap. There's a big gap between completing your education in India, right? Sort of being career ready and then applying for a job. If I'm an employer, right, in any of the countries, I would, whenever I'm hiring a student, maybe it's international or domestic, I would want to see if the student has right sort of skill sets and also able to speak well, communicate well, because he or she has to deal with clients there.
True.
And I see a lot of gaps there. At times students can barely speak English or is not aware of, what sort of, how you're supposed to communicate your soft skills or maybe your interpersonal skills. So we sort of develop and also train them during the career and profile building sessions. That's why I'm saying that we make them career ready. So no one can guarantee a job in this world, right? But we try and facilitate so students are not struggling there to find part-time jobs and also a career ready. So mindset is already prepared for these set of students. Yeah, they're better off. They're better off in terms of, applying for jobs, clearing the interviews, and finally start working with the companies they've applied.
So I believe that your problem, you are solving the biggest problem and the biggest challenge of the market, right? And it's a very niche space. I feel that, I'm sure there might not be any competitor or there may be competitors, but within a short span of time, like, you have just launched before few months.
Yeah.
And you have already widespread in 4 different countries.
Right.
So how does that look like? What is your future vision?
So when we began our, services with the UK, right? And I felt while doing UK, we got a lot of inquiries for the countries like Germany, Singapore, and Mauritius that, parents have sort of inquired that, do you also offer these services into Germany or Singapore or Mauritius? And Germany, all the more, it's critical because, predominantly people speak German in Germany more than English. So students struggle. So I thought, we can definitely tap. There was a bit of hard work and, we had to invest a lot of time. So any country you unlock, you have to spend good amount of time, resources, and you have to set your foot there. And we don't do anything in hurry, or saying that we are operational. Only once my team is ready, we are ready, and then we sort of unlock that particular country and we do it. But since these inquiries floated in, and fortunately we've already served the students who went for September intake, for October intake, to these countries, and we've already offered these services. And now our target is to set our foot in European countries, broader, and also Australia and New Zealand is what we are targeting. Yeah.
That's amazing. I mean, wonderful work you guys are doing. I'm sure. So you started alone. I'm sure that you might be having a good team, and your wife is also a part of your. She's also a co-founder, right? So you might be having a very big vision. Currently it's 4 countries. So within few months, I believe you might have more than, say, 10 countries, right?
I wish, I would want to do that. So we would want to expand and, serve the students in the best possible and economical manner. And we are working on that, and I'm sure we will roll out and unlock a few more countries soon. Yeah.
So this is very potential market, I believe, right? So are we like only working? So talking about business perspective, right? So are we like planning any kind of marketing or branding activity for this, or it's purely organic?
No, we do a lot of branding activities. In fact, we participate in fairs, also seminars, conferences. And since these services are little niche, in the market, we have to sort of inform the broader audience and finally the students and parents that, look, these sort of services are available in the market. Whether or not they wish to go for it, that's a different part of the story. But awareness has to be created, and we are on our toes in terms of promoting and branding ourselves in the market.
Wow, that's amazing. So are you kind of interacting with the parents as well, going to different schools?
Lot of times. So parents, yes, and students more, depending upon the courses they're going for. But yes, all we're trying to do is work with the parent and students, obviously, and offer them these services so that they settle comfortably on the foreign land. And we're doing it, yeah.
So let me share my experience with one of the consultant, though we are talking about the space.
Yeah.
So the challenge is real. Okay. So my brother, he went to US, but before that he hired a consultant, right? Okay. पहले बोला था job मिल जाएगा. So he has given offer letter and everything. Once he was landed, everything got vanished. That consultant, he was not even available on calls. So do you really think this kind of exploitation is real in abroad?
See, I'll tell you honestly, I have been in this industry for a while now, and we work with only reputed consultants and study abroad agent partners. So when I say agent partners, is basically I work. It's not a door-to-door marketing game that we go to every door and my team is selling these services. We work with selective consultants spread across South Asia, and then once we onboard the consultant, so the confidence level for the partner and for the student is same, right? We're matching that. So we don't work with any random consultant where we don't have any idea about him or her or the past history. So we're very careful in terms of onboarding the agent partners with us.
Yeah. So that's amazing. But then वो Indian mentality होता है ना, कम पैसा. So we try and hire that kind of consultant जहाँ पे हमारा investment कम लगे और फिर easy हो जाए काम. पर उसमें बहुत सारे scams हो जाते हैं.
Depending upon, I don't know, maybe you've had blunt experience since you said you've had that experience, but I'm sure things have changed, things have evolved now. Everyone is very careful in terms of when you're dealing with students, because ultimately you are into this space where your brand name is more important than you, right? Because if you're into service for a longer time, you would not want to do any sort of dodgy practices.
Exactly. So having said that, so your name, the company's name is very attractive.
Right.
right? How did you came up with the idea of naming it as Calenedu?
Kalinedu, it's a Greek word meaning virtue and moral excellence, right? So, since the concept or the services that we are offering is very niche, and we would want to stick to the moral value, hence we thought of keeping a name which stands by itself as a meaning, and also the delivery of the services in the right manner, in a trustworthy manner.
That's amazing. Very well thought of.
Thank you.
Right.
Yeah.
So, since you are in this space, can you tell me who do you believe that they are your competitors? Either a consultant or maybe a company like yours who already exist.
See, I wouldn't want to, compete with anyone, but there are consultants who sort of offer services until the student departs. So not many I have come across who's offering services on the foreign land and into these countries. So that's what when I'm saying we are niche, we are. So there are two ways to look at at the situation or at a point where it's niche, so people don't know, and it's niche, you have to do the best.
Yeah.
So we are doing both things simultaneously, hand in hand. So we are branding, marketing ourselves for the services, for the service offering, and in the right economical and trustworthy manner.
And I also believe that you're also creating kind of post-lending ecosystem.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah. So beginning to create something what is not available in the market right now.
But I also believe that, it is not that easy. The partnerships are not easy because there are a lot of vendors who come into picture. Say, for example, the first level, the pickup,
Right.
right? Then the box that you're talking about, that entire grocery is ready, right? So there are a lot of things that comes into picture. So how do you manage this entire concept of giving everything that is mentioned, or every service or every problem that you're solving?
Right.
Right. So how do you manage this entire ecosystem?
So that's why I said, we don't unlock the countries unless we are associated, we have a very strong team in that particular country. Because if you have to service, any student in any country, you have to have right set of people working for you. And we sort of build the team first and then the partners. So the sailing is smooth for everyone, for us, for the people, the team who's working on ground, and also the students finally. So we are very choosy, picky, and careful in terms of when you're offering and when you're unlocking country, or when you're unlocking countries specifically for students. So yeah, we only work with registered partners and right set of people there.
Okay, so it's entire process.
Yeah, it's so unless the team, I get a green signal from my team with their due diligence, we will either not start or we will not shake hands. So we have to be very careful in terms of building and associating with right set of people.
So we were talking about the entire ecosystem that you're creating, like the services that you're offering. Like you see the prospect, you have a thorough research about that particular partnership that you look up to, right? So after lending that, is it that you're giving only that particular month services, or it is year-long services that you provide?
Very good question. See, these services are basically one time to begin with. And now soon, we will have a dynamic website where, students can engage with the services for longer period of time. But till now the services that we're offering as a package is one time. And now going forward, right, we will be offering, which students can cherry pick the services and also could engage with us for longer period of time.
Wow. So when you say that you are making students career ready, are you kind of also looking out for partnership where, with the consultation that you're providing, career consultation you're providing, you're also making them job ready?
Yeah. So we're very clear with terms. See, when I say that we've got career and profile building sessions, is basically bridging the gap and making them career ready, right? And once the students have done and attended these sessions, once they reach the foreign land, if I have to talk about UK, once they have the NI number of if they're at Germany, maybe they're done with the town hall registration, and once they have the tax ID, we sort of facilitate and share the part-time jobs available around them and their surrounding. And they can apply, and then they can clear the interviews and start working with them.
Very,
Yeah.
very nicely thought of. Like, I believe that your long-term visions are also going to be, reaching more number of countries or reaching more number of children whom you can help and make them career ready.
यही थॉट प्रोसेस यही है कि बच्चे जब बाहर जाते हैं तो चलो पहुंच गए, सेटल हो गए, सब जो भी डॉक्यूमेंटेशन करनी थी वो कर दिया, यूनिवर्सिटी में एनरोलमेंट हो गया, बट अब जॉब के लिए कैसा होगा? सो साइमल्टेनियसली हमने जब वी वर डिराइविंग द सर्विस पैकेज की क्या करना है, क्या क्या इंक्लूड करना है, सबसे बड़ा क्वेश्चन मार्क यही था, हाउ डू वी टैकल career readiness. And then we thought of inculcating these things into the package, making them career ready, and then handhold them in that career journey of the student when they're applying. And honestly, India, we don't have this culture of students working on part-time basis, right? Majority of the students complete the 12th standard, do their bachelor's, maybe take a gap if they would want to have an experience, or directly apply for masters. So आपके पास बहुत कम time बचता है where students have worked anywhere. If they have worked, that's an experience. But I'm talking about people or students who are fresher. So for them, we sort of spend a lot of time, during these sessions and make them career ready.
So you're talking about your services that you offer, right? I've also heard that you also give solicitor briefing. So would you like to throw some insights on that?
Right. So solicitor is nothing but, an immigration lawyer. So we've got the best solicitors in place in terms of briefing the students. So basically, we have these sessions prior to students depart, be it for UK, Germany, Singapore, Mauritius, wherever, we've got the solicitor in that particular is present in that particular country. So if you're talking about UK, we have a bench of solicitors helping the students through these sessions, and the things that we cover again is students come from that background where we're talking about this experience wala aap पूछ रहे थे, but yeah, solicitors briefing we cover in a very detailed manner, because being it in India, you don't require that, because the Indian rules, regulation, laws, kya karna hai, kaise karna hai, right? But when you're going somewhere abroad, you have to know the rules and regulations, your moral responsibilities, your responsibilities towards the sponsorship, enrollments, bank account kaise open hota hai, what are the legit working hours. When you're going on a student visa, let's say, when you're going to the UK, you're allowed to work for 20 hours per week during your term time, and 40 hours during your vacation time. So that's a binding. I would say the students have to follow that. And maybe students know it prior to their departure, but it's our moral responsibility to make sure that students are sort of aware, right? After doing a mistake, after doing any kind of mistake, it's an offense, right? So we would not want students to make mistakes and pay hefty fines. And when you're abroad, for any simple mistake, you will be fined. A hefty fine has to be paid. So we are also trying to safeguard the students from any mishappening there, right? So lot of aspects, lot of things are covered in a very detailed manner.
That's amazing. And this working hours that you're talking about, we were speaking about, people, children, they start taking up survival jobs.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So the entire session of solicitor is so important that they understand सिर्फ 20 घंटा ही काम कर सकते हो.
हाँ जी. They have to understand. देखो, कोई एक्सीड करता है तो मेरे को कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, बट यू आर, it's an offense. आप कुछ, हाँ, exactly. Legally you're not allowed to work as of now when you talk about. So कोई चीज़ अगर आप कर रहे हो तो that's at your own risk. But हमको तो broader audience students को समझाना है कि right way क्या है.
क्या है?
Why you'd want to do something which is not right on the foreign land, right? I would never do it. So I have been a student myself. So as a journey, if you talk about me, I went abroad. So first flight that I took, for the longest time was flight from Mumbai to London. And I that was my first travel abroad, that I was going to live away from my parents for good number of months. And I didn't know anything about the surrounding. Everything was so new. Likewise, I said, the country, the culture, the people, the education system. I didn't even know how to apply for part-time jobs, how you're supposed to tackle the interview questions, and how do you get one. So I did, I struggled a lot in the initial months. And ultimately I found a part-time job, and I did well, and that was okay. But then the journey, the initial months were struggling, and then once you get to know everything, and then sort of it gets smoothing, you are settled there.
Easy.
Yeah, then you settle, I would say. So that's what we are trying to bridge, the gap where the student feels settled from day one, right? So the hassle that I went, or students go through, we are minimizing that. Yeah, so the journey is comfortable.
That's amazing. Also, there is a question. I'm sure that ये थोड़ा out of the box question रहेगा, but I really want to understand that because once they leave their parents, पहले तो Indian parents बहुत ज़्यादा children are so overprotected and they are under cocoon. Once they leave their parents, they are more independent now. Okay, but then that phase is not easy. They go through anxiety, depression, loneliness. Family members are not around. Right? Do you kind of also provide mindset training or a training which is required for a student to survive?
Yeah, so we cover them during our pre-departure sessions. See, we come from a land where we are very emotionally attached to everyone, the country, the people, the food, everything, right? So best way is keeping in touch, calling them very often or on a regular basis in the initial days, and keeping in touch, letting them know about your whereabouts, where you're going, so they are sort of relaxed and feel that my son and daughter is safe and having a good life there. So yeah, keeping in touch with your family members is I think is important, and everyone does it. All students do it, even parents do it. So it's kind of, yeah, but we cover these aspects during a pre-departure session.
Okay, so pretty much they are ready.
Yeah, sort of, yeah, I would say that. So after the session, they are ready,
And this is first time consultation. I believe that is a need of an hour, right? It's
Certainly.
very important for a student to understand जाने के बाद करेंगे क्या.
Exactly.
They always feel left out.
हाँ, I completely agree to what you're saying. देखो, अभी तक जब सर्विसेज नहीं थी तो स्टूडेंट्स वो लॉस, पहुंचने के बाद चलो वीज़ा लग गया, फ्लाइट ले ली, पहुंच गए, एनरोलमेंट हो गया, अब आगे क्या, अब कैसे करें, अब किसको पूछे. वी कम फ्रॉम दैट, वी कम फ्रॉम वी आर फ्रॉम इंडिया, एंड वी नीड दैट समवन, अगर कहीं जा रहे तो थोड़ा पूछ लेते हैं यार, यहाँ पे कैसे होगा. इफ यू आर ट्रैवलिंग मे बी आउट ऑफ द स्टेट, अगर आप पहली बार जा रहे हो तो आप यूजुअली यू फाइंड पीपल, राइट, कि ये कैसे करना है, या ये अगर ट्रेन या ये मेरे को बस लेनी है तो कैसे होगा, या यहाँ पे कौन बेस्ट कंसल्टेंट है, या पार्ट टाइम जॉब्स कैसे अप्लाई करेंगे, या जॉब में आई डोंट नो, रैंडम थिंग्स, बट यू यूजुअली आस्क. But there things are different, right? You don't find much people there. People are busy with their own lives. So students feel that they need someone there. They need a mentor. They need basically someone acting or working as a torchlight for them, where we sort of, they know यार ये path है और इसके ऊपर मुझे चलना है. And that's what we are doing, we are guiding them.
In experience also.
Yeah.
I have my cousin brother.
Right.
I know who traveled to Australia. Okay, few months what was not at all easy for him. Okay, it became very difficult for him because नया place, नया country है.
Yes.
Very lonely place if you talk about Australia, right? वो बहुत ज़्यादा there are not lot many people, right? So it was very difficult for him. There was no consultation after post landing. There is no services. There was no consultation. उसको पता ही नहीं था क्या करना है. So few months, maybe somewhere around 6 to 7 months, finally decided I'll go back to India.
Oh.
Right, that was his phase, but then somehow he was he was very strong enough
Yeah.
to survive there. Then he found lot of ways to, like, come out of this situation.
Yeah.
Because a lot of money is already
Exactly.
involved, right? A lot of
You've already invested. Yeah, it's pointless to come back. Think of coming.
services would have been so beneficial for him. जो struggle हुआ उसका 6 साल के
Exactly.
this would have been, like, kind of giving another life to a person's
Right.
like, requirement.
Yeah.
So
While I was studying at Durham, I had one of my friend from India, in fact from Pune, who was in the same dilemma of, अब मैं क्या करूँ, जाऊँ यार यहाँ पे, it's so difficult, climate is little erratic, और शायद कोर्स भी डिफिकल्ट जा रहा है, तो maybe, taking an exit, leaving from here is a better option. But we sort of counseled and told him, see, your parents have invested and it's hard-earned money, right? We have to respect that. तो छोड़ना is not an option.
not an option at all.
आ गए हो, आपने इतनी बड़ी इन्वेस्टमेंट कर ली है, तो छोड़ना मेरे हिसाब से जायज़ नहीं है. You should not take that decision. But yeah, you need counseling, you need the right person, the right mentors. And definitely even, universities support the students. So, if student को ऐसा कुछ लग रहा है, तो they can always speak to the right set of people and sort of, and, try and sort themselves there.
So thank you so much. This conversation was absolutely a candid conversation. I have one question in my mind. Where do you see Kellen education in this industry? Is it kind of providing services only on skill base or demand base?
See, we don't generate demand. Demand is already there, If someone, has decided to go abroad, so we don't facilitate that कि आप जाइए, आप करिए. So students already जाने का सोच लिए हैं. So we work with set of students जो already सोच लिए कि मैंने जाना है, right? And then we sort of plug and play and then we offer our services. So demand generation हम लोग नहीं करता है because students are already going and, so उनको support कैसे कराया जा सकता है, that we sort of channelize.
So which are the 4 countries that you have already expanded?
So we began with the UK and now we have our presence in Germany, Singapore and Mauritius. Soon we are going to unlock, likewise I said, few European countries, and then Australia and New Zealand. I see a lot of potential there. Yeah.
Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah.
Australia is one of the, I have a lot of my people there.
Yeah.
Canada is also there. So thank you so much. We had wonderful conversation and it was very much candid and I got to know a lot of things about this industry, right? As I said, my own experiences were not so good. I have my friends, my brother's friends coming back all the way after investing lakhs of
I know, yeah.
Right? So it's very important to get this kind of support, which is very hands-on. So that the survival becomes so easy
Exactly.
for student, and they have this entire roadmap.
हाँ जी.
जाने के बाद करना क्या है, ग्रोसरीज कैसे मिलेगी, कब स्टे करना है, पिकअप ड्रॉप,
Everything. जो सर्विस ऑफरिंग वही है, मकसद वही है कि एक तो है ऐसा कुछ प्रोडक्ट मार्केट में अवेलेबल where they can rely on, seek the services, and जो हैसल जो बच्चे फेस करते हैं पहुंचने के बाद वो ना हो, राइट? सो इसलिए इम्पोर्टेंस ऐसा ही है कि वी आर देयर इन द मार्केट टू सपोर्ट द स्टूडेंट्स एंड सेटल देम कंफर्टेबली देयर.
या और वो जो इन्वेस्टमेंट की जो इनको इश्यूज आती है ना, आई बिलीव दैट दिस विल बी मच मोर कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव देन व्हाट दे आर स्पेंडिंग ऑलरेडी.
100%.
Because without clear roadmap, of course, that child is going to spend lot of money.
Yeah. I'm sure, likewise I said, अगर suppose package नहीं लेते हैं, right? So they're going to spend a good amount of money because आपको पता नहीं कैब कौन सी लेनी है, who's the best service provider, safe है नहीं है, या ग्रोसरी अगर आपके आसपास में इंडियन ग्रोसरी शॉप है नहीं है, if that's reasonable, right? मैं कहता हूँ अगर सपोज करियर एंड प्रोफाइल बिल्डिंग सेशंस कर ली और मान के चलो वी शेयर द ऑप्शंस विद देम, स्टूडेंट इज एबल टू गेट द जॉब इन फ्यू इनिशियल मंथ्स वर्सेस नहीं मिलना जॉब फॉर गुड 6 months or 7 months, student is at the loss, right? So we're trying to bridge the gaps from all angles and making the student actually career ready and ready in terms of living life abroad, in a comfortable way.
You're solving a very big problem of the market. Right. So wish you all the best. One message you want to share to all the parents who want their children to go and study abroad and settle abroad.
So one line for them is our tagline is, your edu journey, our expertise. So I'm sure, as parents, you have supported your children in the best possible manner and you're still doing it. So we will come into the picture where, you have decided the country, you've decided the university, and then we sort of facilitate the services that are required, which will help the students, help your children, in terms of smoothing the transition, which may sound difficult if someone doesn't opt, but then it's absolutely very smooth, sailing for these set of students.
Correct. So thank you so much for being so candid, Raghav. We are heading towards the most important part of our show, that is rapid fire round. So whatever question I'm going to ask you, you need to answer in one word.
One word, yeah?
One word. Are you ready for it?
Yes.
All right. One thing the entire study abroad industry is not talking about.
I would say demand and supply of jobs available and job opportunities. So demand and supply of job opportunities.
Yes, true. Who is the real decision maker, student or parent?
So I would answer this question in two parts. If it's undergraduate, predominantly it's parents, and postgraduate, because they're matured enough, then it's students. Yeah.
True. Tough crisis, no job abroad or no accommodation abroad.
I would say accommodation still can be sorted, but then you have to be career ready to get jobs there.
I've just to bring this point, I've also heard that once you completed your masters or any kind of modification, there are lawyers who can get jobs for you, or they guide you on certain kind of jobs that you can pursue.
Exactly. So what we do is, during the solicitor's briefing that we offer as a service, we also let them know in terms of what should be the roadmap, because majority of the students who go abroad for UG or PG courses definitely apply for the stay back, right? So if you're clear with day one कि process क्या है और क्या right way में करना चाहिए, so the mindset is prepared कि चलो roadmap हम लोग बता देते हैं. We have the best solicitors. At any point in time they would want to seek their services, understand, they can always go and directly, seek their appointment, meet them in person, and understand how they can take things forward. So we sort of channelize the right set of people, the right solicitor for these students.
So this journey continues till they stay there.
Hanji, till they're there, we're always there. So at any point in time, if God forbid, if there's an emergency, we will try and support the students.
Wow, that's amazing. Better founder trait, aggressive sales or client satisfaction?
100% client satisfaction. That's the most important factor for us.
So this is, again, as I said, this is a very niche business, right? So of course, client satisfaction is much more important because the entire business runs on word of.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the foundation. Yeah. So when you're offering the services, your clients have to be satisfied, right? And that's the founding principle. Yeah.
That's important. Yeah. If one thing you would want to have it back, what would it be?
See, I'm not the decision maker, but maybe if I'm talking about UK, if we have, the dependent visa, I'll be happy.
One line for parents sending kids abroad.
So avail our services, sit back and relax, and see your child, being successful there.
Yeah, and take a very smooth ride.
Yeah, absolutely. Smooth sailing. Yeah. So if I have to cover that in one word, I would say stress-free landing.
Super. Degree or skills, what pays you back faster?
See, degree is always important when you're applying for jobs for first, second, third. They usually look, what degree you have got from which university, which institution. So that's important. And in the later later period in your life when you've already, have had good amount of experience, then I would say skill sets. So both hand in hand are equally important.
Okay. One line every student going abroad must hear before booking that flight.
Are you career ready? Are you career ready? Is what you should be asking yourself.
So most of the time I have seen that, students will go and opt to, study abroad just because his or her friend is going there.
Yeah, yeah. And maybe they're also happy with their support and service. Yeah.
So one last question I would like to ask: in next 5 years, are you building a student support company or a global workforce pipeline? This you cannot answer in one word. You can extend.
So it's by the student and for the student. So I have been a student myself, likewise I said, initially, and I would want to build an ecosystem for students, because the hassle and the challenges they face on the foreign land, I would not want to see them struggling. So it would be more around the student side. So we are very student centric.
So that's, as I keep saying, you guys are doing wonderful job. The
Yeah.
niche that you have selected, I mean, it's very well thought of and imaginated, because maybe you were a student once, right? And you have seen the kind of struggles that
Certainly,
students
yeah.
facing, right? So having said that, talking about business perspective and, understanding more about your business, is this kind of a bootstrap, or do we have kind of investors at place?
Currently we are bootstrapped. But yeah,
Are you kind of looking out for investors?
but we have also received grant from the central government under Startup India Seed Fund scheme, so which is actually a feather in our cap, which shows reliability and confidence. And then sort of, you get an incubator, and then they will sort of give you that grant. So credibility has to be created, which we've already done. So it's a feather in our cap, honestly. Yeah.
It's amazing. Thank you so much for being there on our show. And it was very candid and very, very informative session today, what I had today, and got to know a lot of things that, why, if a student is going to abroad,
Right.
why your services are going to be very helpful. So thank you so much. Being a parent, if my child want to settle somewhere, but you'll be the right person for me to avail services. So
Yes, thank you so much.
thank you so much once again. One last message you want to share for Achesoch platform?
I think you're doing a fabulous job in terms of, creating awareness for your viewers. And I've seen your previous podcasts. You've had people from varied background, right? Which I feel you're doing justice in terms of, providing information in different areas with right set of people, right? I think the message is very loud and clear.
Very loud and clear. Thank you so much. Coming from
Thank you.
means a lot to us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to all our viewers. Please stay connected. And if you feel, if you are a parent, if anyone from your family wants to study abroad, now you know who you need to pick, right? You immediately have to go and search for Calin Edu, and you'll find the right place and services. Thank you so much. Till then, have a good day. Bye-bye.
So, if you're planning to study abroad, don't just prepare for admission, prepare for life after landing. Save this episode, share it with your friends and family, and follow Achesoch for conversation that help you make informed decisions, not build ones. Your journey deserves more than promises. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.